in these near-death accounts, I was I was reading how people were saying over and over and over again, endlessly. It was a realm I'd never experienced before. It was a world I'd never experienced before. It was a bliss I'd never experienced before. And then you say, well, you believe in reincarnation? Yeah, I believe in reincarnation. Yeah, well, why haven't you experienced it before? Why? You must have experienced it many times before, but that's what I think you indicated earlier. You mentioned earlier, this is the mind wipe.
It was the most incredible feeling of, of joy that I've ever had.
I looked to my left and there was a mountain, and it was a beautiful, beautiful mountain. And I wanted to climb up it because on this mountain was this beautiful being. And it was so powerful with love. I had never felt what I felt.
I knew that I was dead. I knew that my physical body was no longer working and that I was no longer a part of it. And I was fine with it. It didn't scare me. It just felt like this is how it's meant to be. And it almost started feeling like my life was becoming a distant memory.
You start crying like, oh my God, like her voice been with me for eons. Like I knew that voice so well. And I was like kind of embarrassed and dumbfounded, like how the hell I did not remember her 5 minutes ago, How that possible?
And I couldn't stop thinking, how did I forget who I really was? How in the world? It was such an incredible trick that I was in this body and I was this person, because I was no longer Bill Letson. I really wanted nothing to do with his whole story and his whole life, even though it had been a dream life. So I was flying along, and I was really thinking that was quite a trick, that I forgot who I really was.
I was trying to communicate with them, but I didn't, without a body. So what they had sent me was to use my intuitive abilities and to talk to them through telepathy. And I was like, well, I don't know how to do that. Like I didn't remember. We're having this conversation, though I don't remember the dialogue because that was part of what was erased. And we were doing the life review, which again, they have removed from me.
And there's all these people around me, and I knew who they were while I was there, but I don't know who they are now. And all of a sudden, as I'm seeing all of this, it's like I'm getting downloaded. It's like the veil's lifted, but just enough for me to remember Father God. And he came as the Father. And I could remember, and it was like forgetting your own name, but not knowing you forgot your own name and suddenly remembering. And I was like, oh my God, how could I have forgotten you? It's like the most important thing in the universe. Like, how could I have forgotten you? Why don't we remember you? I don't understand.
And so I could feel myself literally like slipping into a hell or like it was going into that. And as it was getting way more intense, I started to literally feel all these eyes watching me and judging me and basically saying, yeah, this is too bad. You had a chance to make it right, to evolve and to grow and to be, what your soul, your life force always had the potential to be, but you forgot. And here it is. Now you remember it and too late.